everybody, so we're back with my little assistant Frankie. We are back to deliver another short session Pilates from my lounge room to yours. Okay, let's start it. So I'd like you to just stand.
Hello.
And let your arms just flop around. Adding a little twist. Just basically bring ourselves into a mood to do some exercise. You won't need anything except of yourself and maybe a mat if you've got one. And carpet will do. Okay, and we're going to slow the arms. And we're ready to do some squats. Okay, so imagine you've got a chair behind you want to sit on. So let's pretend like we want to sit on a chair and we'll lift up from it. We'll want to sit on the chair and then lift up and sit on the chair and lift up. And let's keep going. You can hold your arms at the front of you. You can hold your elbows. I'd like to hold my elbows as I do this. So maybe you can do the same thing.
Hello, that's day.
Okay, now when we go right to the top, we're going to add twist. So rotation or twist towards one side and towards the other side. So pretend like you want to sit on a chair, you lift up, you twist. You're going to stop at the top if you find it's a bit tricky, or you keep going. Let's do another 4 of those. Good, last one. Perfect. Now we're staying nice and tall and we're just going to do a rotation. So twist and twist. Now I'd like your pants to be still. So twisting from waist up. Now let's stretch our arms, bring the palms together and do the same twist. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now arms by your side. Slide on the side of your thigh, down and bend. Towards one side, bend towards the other side. Now adding a further stretch, stretching the arm over the head and over the other side. Now I'm breathing in as I'm stretching to the side.
Hello, look at my name.
Breathe out on the way up. Let's do 1 more on each side. Great. Let's lower ourselves down on hands and knees, shall we? So, hands and knees. And let's do some cat-cow stretch. So, we're going to let the spine sort of drop down or belly drop down. Look forward. And then we want to push our back towards the sky. And we'll want to look down. And we can relax our feet. We're going to keep the toes tucked. Whatever feels good to you. And we can add a nice deep breath throughout. Really feels good to me is inhale when I'm like letting my back bend and exhale as I push the back up to the sky. So see if that works for you, awesome. If that doesn't, it's not the end of the day. Just try to deepen that breath. Just would be okay. All right, so we're going to find now the midway where our back is more sort of straighter. Now we want to keep it still. Now our aim is to imagine like we've got a cup of tea sitting down on the lower back, right? And we want to keep it still. And we're going to first start reaching one arm at a time forward. Just forward. Frankie, you might want to turn yourself around so you're not bumping into me. forward. Now she's gonna kick me. Anyway, now the next time we're gonna reach the arm, we're gonna add opposite leg. So if your right arm's reaching forward, your left legs start lift and reach behind. If your left arm, then your right leg goes. So opposite. Sometimes we do the same side, which can be done, just a little bit more challenging. So imagine you've got a cup of tea sitting down on the lower back and we really want to keep that nice and still. Let's do 6 more of those. Keep going. Awesome. Now we'll get out from our hands. We're going to do a little shake, maybe roll your wrist, whatever feels good. And then we're going to step right foot forward. Okay. Now take your hands behind your back and then drive the hips forward and back. Now if this makes you tricky with balance, you might want to hold onto something, wall, chair, whatever is near to you. Let's tuck our toes, which are behind us. Drive forward and back. Okay, now we can keep our hands on the side of our hips. Feel free to have them by your side, whatever you want. Now stop somewhere in the middle, like instead of moving forwards and back, somewhere where it sort of feels okay for you to be at. Now our aim is now going to be stand up from this. So I'd like you to push feet down onto the ground, press from the floor to rise up to the sky. Okay?
What's this?
Very good, Frankie. And let's go down, and we can go all the way down. Awesome. And up. If there is a trouble, you might holding onto something, you might just go about halfway and then lift up tall, and that's fine too. So let's keep going. 2 full straight legs. Down and up. Down and up. We'll do 4 more of those. Couple more. Good. Now let's lower back all the way down towards the floor. Back on both knees. Come back, Frankie, and back on hands and knees. Now what we're going to do here, we again imagine we've got a cup of tea sitting on our lower back, and we're going to kick one leg at the time back behind us. Great, now you guys keep going. I'm just going to turn facing this way so you can actually see what I'm going to do with the leg. So next time your leg is lifted, hold it there, and we're going to reach it out to the side. Bring it back behind and lower it down. Now reach behind, out to the side, very good. Bring it back and lower it down. Now keep going. Now as you're going through those, trying to keep pressing both arms on the floor, which can be tricky, but we can totally do that. So pressing both arms down, trying to keep them straight, and still, like I'm doing my best, imagining like I still got that cup of tea. It's probably slipped on the side, but let's see if I can keep it as still as I can. Now ideally the leg maintains the level, like a height, same height, but if that doesn't work, then just lower it. Sorry, Frankie. Let's do a couple on each side.
Your feet are messy.
My feet are messy. Oh well.
Mine too. Mine are cleaner than yours.
Good. Okay, now we'll go up. Now remember we had right foot forward when we were kneeling. Let's do the left one. So first, drawing the hips forward and back. So having a little bit of stretch And again, if you need that additional support, move yourself closer to the wall. Good. Now stop somewhere in the middle. Remember, now we're going to push up to standing, right? So press up, we'll stand. Quite challenging for balance, but we'll see how we go. Lower down and press. Now I often find that when you're focusing on one spot, it might help you with the balance. So you can do that, or simple as holding onto the side of something. Let's do 3 more from on. Now on, 2 more. Last one. And let's lower all the way down to the ground 1 more time. Back onto hands and knees. Now, we're gonna lift right leg up behind us, and we're gonna keep it up. Now we're gonna reach the left arm and lift it up. Now what we're gonna do, we want to bring elbow and knee underneath the tummy, and we're gonna press the back up towards the sky. We'll look towards the knee, and then we'll stretch out long. And then we crunch in, and we stretch up long. And I breathe out as I crunch in, and then breathe in as I stretch out long. 4 more to go.
It's a rainbow summer bear.
2 more. 1 more. Now we're gonna need to repeat the other side. So the leg goes, come up, lift, hold it, reach the opposite arm, and let's go. Crunch it in and stretch out long. Crunch it in, stretch out long. Frankie, I'd recommend you to first eat and then exercise. Okay? 3 more to go. Great. Now place the hands and knee down. Now we're going to make our way to lie down onto a tummy. Are you ready? Okay. Now we're going to place our hands below our forehead.
This is what we do at ballet.
Oh, great. Now we bring the hands to connect with the forehead, and we're going to lift up. So hover the arms, head, chest up above the floor, and lower down.
This
Lift.
is what we do at ballet, Mama.
And lower. Great, Frankie. Let's keep going. Lift up and lower. So as you can see, I just lost that little microphone. One needed will I keep going. Now what we're going to add, we're going to lift up and we're going to reach one arm forward, other arm forward, and we bring it back down. Lift, stretch, stretch, bring it back down. Good. Let's do 4 more like that. Three more to go. 2 more. 1 more. And release. Now place your hands more closer down towards the shoulders. And then you're going to push into your hands, lift your head, look forward, and release. Now I'd like you to breathe in and see how you go as you lift up. Good. Now I'd like you to press with your hands. Go a little bit further up, bending back. Oh, beautiful. And then release down. Keep going. What I'd like you to imagine as you push up, it's like you're going up. Go, Frankie. Go into your beautiful back bend. The crown of the head's pushed up towards the sky and you're bending back. And release all the way down. And let's keep going. Let's give a 5 more to go here. Now find where you want to feel like you are okay with bending back.
My back.
Beautiful. Nice and long neck, long head. Like imagine you're like a long neck turtle and you want to lift up and
Or
you
a
really want
giraffe.
to. Or a giraffe, exactly.
Giraffe has long neck.
Oh, let's do a couple more. That really does feel good. Last one. Good. Now place your hands below the shoulders and push yourself up to hands and knees one more time. And we're gonna just do that nice rounded again and then drop down. And just do about a couple of those. Just get that back moving a little bit. Great. Now I'd like you to come up on your knees and now we'll just transition into sitting. Whichever way you want to do, and from sitting, lying down. Okay, arms by your side, push your feet closer to the bum, press into your feet so you lift your bum up towards the sky, trying to aim to lift as high as you can. And let's lower it down. And then lift up and drop down. And lift up and drop down. Good. And up and down. Now what can help you is to start with bringing your hands into the creases of your hips, and when you go up, feel like that fabric is uncreases and it gets nice and smooth. So that's what we want. We don't want to keep any creases at the front as we lift the bum up towards the sky. And I'm breathing out as I'm driving my hips up. You can do the same thing. It might help you to actually create a little bit more sort of like a power through the movement. Perhaps it does help me, so you can do that. Right, let's do 4 more.
Mom. 2.
Good. Now we're going to do more challenging thing. We'll lift the hips up.
Whoa.
Now it's up to you. You can stay with your hips up and just hold the whole time. Otherwise, we'll do a little tiny steps with the feet.
4.
So we'll press the arms down. That helps.
4.
Great, Frankie. And 1 foot step, bring it back. Step, bring it back. So goal is to keep the hips same height the whole time. One foot at the time. 4 more to go, or you just keep holding your hips up without moving the feet if you find this challenging. Great, last one, each leg, you're almost there. And then lower all the way down. Now let's stretch, straighten the right leg, kick it up, lower it down. Kick up with your point foot, lower with your flex. Point and flex. Point, flex.
Look at my point.
Very good. 4 more to go. 3,
2.
1. Let's switch legs. Same. Other leg. Point, kick, lower. Keeping the leg straight, meaning that the fabric behind our knees is nice and smooth again. No creases. 3 more to go. Good. Last one. Beautiful. And then rest. Bring the feet and knees together, arms slightly out, and let the knees sway towards one side and sway towards the other side. Now, if this makes you feel a bit icky, your feet can go wide and you just sway your knees side to side. That probably doesn't going to let your hips to twist as much, but that's okay. You could make it a bit easier if you want to. Now, it's really just about the twisting and about some release you might have or you might feel, or it just feels nice, sort of. Okay. Now we'll bring the legs back to the middle and we're going to place our feet down to the ground. Now we're going to reach arms up towards the ceiling. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reach the arms towards the knees. We lift our head and shoulders and we curl up. And then we're going to lower it down. So we want to flex or bend our back, our neck, and our back and do a little bit of curl up. So you want to look towards your knees and you reach, you're bending, and lower down. So, oh my gosh, amazing. So what we're going to do is pressing our feet down as well as we curl up. So you create a bit more anchorness with your feet. Curling up, lower down. Now see if you can go. You can go all the way up. Ooh, that was a bit of effort for me. And then roll down. If that is an issue, then just train with bending your back. We'll do 4 more of those.
Mama, I can get up.
Yep, without lifting your feet, Frankie. And lower down. Now, if you're freshly postpartum, you might feel like there is no way that you can have that strength. That's okay. Just listen wherever you are and start there, right? Okay. One more time. You get all the way up to sitting where we want to eventually add. And then you're staying up. Okay. Now, sit up nice and straight like you're sitting against the wall. And then try to straighten the legs. If straighten the legs are just a bit tricky, keep your legs bent and that would be perfectly fine. Now I'd like you to keep a distance between the legs and might open it up a little bit more. Now sit up tall and then let your body twist towards one side and now twist towards the other side. Then as we're twisting, we're going to have arms nice and wide. And we're going to twist towards one side and towards the other side. Good. So while we're twisting towards, eventually towards one leg and then towards the other leg, right? So we twist towards one leg and what I want you to do is bend forward over the leg and then reach that hand which is closer to the foot, like over the toes. Now lift yourself up nice and tall, twist to the other side and bend forward. And we can breathe in as we twist, as we rise up, and exhale as we bend. But do whatever suits you. Now our legs want to feel kind of heavy onto the floor as we're going through. Let's do 4 more of those, which is called a saw from Pilates routine. 1 more. And then bring your hands behind. Bring the legs together, bend them, and give it a little shake. Sway your knees side to side 1 more time. Now, we're going to finish our short workout with the legs crossed. If you cannot sit legs crossed, all good. You can sit up on a chair. And then just roll the shoulders. Now we're going to reach right arm up towards the ceiling. And we're going to bend towards the left. And we'll switch sides. And we'll switch sides 1 more time. And we're just going to take a big breaths in and out. Letting the head hang. Slowly finding our way up. Over the other side. And all the way up. Wonderful. That's your 20 minutes of exercising or doing some Pilates, which is awesome. Feel free to stretch, stay, do something else, whatever you please. And take care of yourself. Catch you next week.